The 20-win challenge is right around the corner, and today I'm going to give you 5 of the best decks to play to maximize your chances of success in the challenge. Starting off with deck number 1, we've got Royal Giant, and the fun thing about the 20-win challenge is every Evo will be unlocked, and well, I assume if it's like every other like Grand Challenge and Classic Challenge, you're going to have every Evo available, you're going to have every card available, and they're all going to be set at level 11. So you don't need to worry if you maybe don't have the cards of anything in this deck, because it's not like ladder. You're going to be able to... Dude, can we... Is it just me, or is it playing everything you own at the bridge immediately just like kind of crazy for my intro game? I can't even get my words out. Well, the fun thing about Royal Giants is I think it's like a cycle deck basically, but it's got those beatdown aspects that are going to make it really a lot more fun and a lot easier to play, I think, than some other cycle decks. But at the same time, you can't be expecting to, I guess, take the whole tower with the Royal Giant is something you should keep in mind at one go. But yeah, the Evo Ghost, you're going to be able to play without buying it. You're going to be able to play pretty much every Evo in the game, which is why it's great to make a best decks video like this, because you're going to be able to play literally anything, when most of the time you obviously are capped by free-to-play restrictions. It's going to be kind of refreshing to actually be able to play other decks for once. But yeah, I mean, I don't unfortunately have that problem because I've spent my life savings on Clash Royale. That's not true, okay? That's not true. I'm kidding. But if you do spend your life savings on Clash Royale, you should use code Vader. There have been a lot of different Evos played in Royal Giant over the course of however long, you know, there's been really good Royal Giant decks. The problem right now is, I mean, you have the brand new Ghost Evo, and you're kind of still trying to decide what Evos work in this deck. And for right now, the best RG player in the game, named Sophion, is playing the Royal Ghost with the Royal Giant. So I'm just going to go with what he's going with, to be honest, because, I mean... Who better to get my who better to get my info from than the best Royal Giant player in the world, right? And it's not only him that's been having success with this deck. It's been a lot of different people. But that being said, that's the actual time to use. That being said, he has been having success pushing up with this deck. He's currently, I think, top 5 in the world. So it's pretty damn good, if you ask me. I'm not actually going to put my main deck in the video because I don't think it's that great, even though we did push up to the top 100 on stream today. Make sure, by the way, we're live from 2 to 5 Pacific time every day, except for Mondays, because I have school in the middle of my stream hours. You should check it out. We're live on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, though, I prefer you come over to one of the other platforms, since we are kind of massive on this platform already compared to the other ones. So, Gotta make sure, anyways, stop yapping during this very enticing bridge spam defense here, in which I'm just making sure that my girthy units are alive to protect my hunters. And you're gonna kind of see why the deck could be a little stale at times. I guess if you're expecting total dopamine excitement every moment of the game, RG is probably not for you. But with that being said, I need to run Grammarly on my freaking commentary, bro. I'm saying that being said too much. Yeah, one more time. With that being said, you are going to be able to break through a lot of decks, and you're going to be able to defend a ton of things, and have to be pretty careful about what placements and stuff you're making, because it is pretty much a cycle deck. Even though there are beatdown aspects to it, it's easy to make misplays. At the same time, it's easy to cover up misplays, so that's a good thing as well. What is an alternative for the word that with that being said, what is the alternative to the word I'm looking for? I legitimately cannot think of a single word or phrase to oh my god. Fireball here. I'm literally just playing pretty good defense here. We're just making sure that none of the lumberjacks or super scary stuff is being able to break through me, getting my hunters to get back. So as I say, we're playing pretty good defense here. And it just turns into the worst slop you've ever seen in your life. Awesome. Okay, but anyways, I mean, I'm kind of just yapping, and we're still having decent success, so I figure if you're completely locked in, you probably won't have these kinds of issues that we're having. Thank God that didn't dash there, because if that dashed, we would have had a little tiny bit of a problem. Royal Ghost honestly hasn't done too much this game, but that's a good thing, because it's not showing the pure potential of this deck. You can do so much better with this deck. Look at how... Okay, maybe I take it back. We just killed an entire P.E.K.K.A. pretty much with just one of these things. Okay, that's insane. But yeah, I mean, you can play like a drone and be able to outplay a lot of matchups in the game as well. So we're just going to go with one more Fireball here, and that should be GG's. It's a wrap. You can beat P.E.K.K.A., you can beat Bridge Spam, you can beat Bait, you can beat other cycle decks, other Royal Giant decks. Really, really strong deck to start off the day. Next up is one of the best decks in the entire game right now, Royal... Next up is one of the best decks in the entire game right now. It is Royal Ghost and the Minor Poison combo that has just been taking over the game. There is a fun fact about this deck. You can actually play a ton of different versions. I've seen people just experimenting with minions, with Queen, with Little Prince. So far, this has been the best and most used deck in as far as this archetype goes. So I'm just going to play this. And it's been really successful given its defense is just absurdly strong on top of, you know, you being able to get crazy interactions with the Evo Ghost, of course. I assume we can just get a nice little poison value down here and then probably use, yeah, I guess I'll just use a deep hut here, which is going to get killed by the Skelly Drags, but not instantly. We're going to be able to pop the poison and pretty much deal with the entire push here. Even though it goes with that, that's still only going to get, I think, one hit, if any. No, it doesn't get any hits, so a really good solid defense right off the bat there. Honestly, guards, a bit more annoying than Tombstone, but we'll have no problem with this. Queen is going to completely solo, especially the fact that we can get 2 queens now. I'm interested to see what... He probably just zaps wall breakers then, because he's running the, what I assume is the Valk Guards version. So if he has a zap, then we'll just have to go with these. So he can't zap immediately, that is, plus extra 2 elixir. That's actually not going to kill either wall breaker. You got to learn your interactions, buddy. As a player who has successfully taken at least 10,000 wall breaker hits to the dome, I know what I'm talking about. Now, given he doesn't have guards in cycle, we can literally just do a really stupid play here that I actually really like because this queen should be able to get onto the tower. And then we could just wait till the absolute last seconds, given he has no elixir, and then just fire a load into a load or 7 or 8 or 9 loads into the tower and pretty much take the whole entire thing and simultaneously cycle back to another queen as well. So I'll go with a I think we'll go with a bar barrel here and wall breakers, and then we'll try and cycle back. He's just going to arrows late here, and then we'll go with a queen. We should be able to hit this ability real quick and not take more than 2 balloon hits, and then just dump some loads into the Lava Hound, who doesn't love doing that. And then we'll go with the Royal Ghost here and get a poison down late. If the Royal Ghost ever wants to show himself, you poor shy a little soul. Let's go wall breakers back here to pull the queen, or to pull the Valkyrie back, although Valkyrie is my queen as well. Mwah. Love you, baby girl. It's just too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy to play defense with this deck against Lava Hound, especially against beatdown decks in particular. This deck is extremely strong, and you're going to have to probably lock in and play, like, make sure you get good practice in and you're being proactive and thinking when you're playing against fast spammy decks. But outside of that, you're going to have just a field day with beatdown, with other minor decks. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, especially with the fact that you can now get multiple queens down. Now, this is maybe my most, like, now this is maybe the deck I'm looking the most forward to, because it is the most funky so far. I won't spoil anything. It is so far, it is the most funky deck we have on the list, and it is actually surprisingly ridiculously good. You've seen Golem be kind of a thing that's, you know, it kind of arose with the god-awful meta that was last season, and it kind of went away, given the Goblin Machine got nerfed and all that wonderful mumbo-jumbo is no longer in the meta, but it kind of still is. It's a cancerous Golden Knight, a Royal Ghost Evo. You see a trend here. I was pretty wrong. I don't think I was that wrong about how I felt about the Royal Ghost. I definitely didn't think it'd be as strong as it is, but it is, unfortunately. Sometimes our takes are just wrong. I won't take the dash here, but just... That's insanely disrespectful, and I will bar barrel and go golem the back immediately. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You don't get to do that to me. You don't get to just rocket my Royal Ghost. Who the hell do you think? I will hold my words until my push actually does something, so I don't look like an arrogant fool. This is why we hold our words, guys. Now, in theory, I can Electro Dragon and then Tornado something into the Inferno Tower, so I'm able to actually hit it. He's going to do this there, which is, unfortunately, a really good play, because it doesn't quite... Oh, I should have held my words. I should have held my words. Oh, Evo Barrel. Oh, skill. I said that as I'm playing Golem, but two things, you know, it's not mutually exclusive. Now, I will say that I think that this deck is going to get a lot better in double elixir. So, although, you know... You could probably see, maybe we've made a couple misplays in singles, stuff like that. I do think that the deck's success is definitely increasing as the game goes on, since you can actually afford to play your cards. It does actually help to be able to play cards, you know. I'm going to wait on that dash. I'm still going to just wait on that dash. I imagine he tries to plug the bridge or not let me take this dash, but he just lets me get it anyway. Okay, hobbies. You know, go ahead. Go ahead and let me have that dash, dog. Let me have that dash, big dog. Thank you very much. All right, let's get a ghost here. He could just get a really nice rocket value, but if he does that, he won't be able to kill my E-Drag immediately, so I'm kind of fine with that. I'd like a Prince Golden Knight here, too, because he's obviously going to go Goblin Gang with this, right? I would think, to stop the Prince. Yep, and there that goes. I don't care if the Cold Golem dies, because you have a Royal Ghost and Zappies, too, and we can get, I mean, quite a bit of our damage back, to be honest. Golden Knight, I had another dash I probably should have taken. I'm going to just go Golem over here, though. And then if he does end up going with the with the Goblin Barrel, I obviously have my Barb Barrel ready. We're just going to take this. We're going to go in with the E-Drag here. And I think I want another... probably another Royal Ghost. Takes the rocket. It's a bit of an aggressive rocket. I could probably get a really nice dash going because he does have to respond to that Royal Ghost in the opposite lane. Yeah, speaking of dashes, oh my god. Sloppy? But who doesn't love a sloppy, baby? Expo is extremely strong right now, and you do have to have a pretty good understanding of the deck, I would think, or at least a pretty good understanding of cycle and good micro interactions to make it work. But yeah, it's something that's worth pursuing, especially in this meta, which is kind of crazy to say because last season Expo was in the dirt. There were barely any Expo players being used, but right now, one of the best decks in all of Clash Royale. And let's be honest, seeing the archers split in the back first play, it strikes fear in a lot of people's hearts. It really does. It really does. I want to obviously get this Tesla to get something going here, so we're going to have that dash on that. That's fine. I don't really care too much about that. That's okay. Interesting play there. You just go Fireball and then just Skellies here. Make sure that's not going to get any damage. And also, at the same time, not going to get any hits. So since he doesn't have Boss Bandit immediately, I'm definitely considering doing this. I'm going to get a Knight down here. That's fine. The Expo's still locked on the tower. Beautiful, because we had some pretty good placement timing there. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the times you're not going to get severely crazy Expo locks, if any. So although you want to try definitely as hard as you can to get Expo locks in the right situations, like when his Xe is out, when his Boss Bandit is out, obviously it's different for every matchup. I don't want to overextend to trying to keep one Expo alive, because if I do, it can sacrifice my defense, it could put me down Elixir, it can, you know, mess up my cycle, and ultimately that's what's going to lose you the game a lot of the time. With decks like this, you can, of course, play flawless defense and then go in with Fireball cycling at the end of the games, and although that's not the most fun thing to do, right, winning is more fun than anything else. I would argue, so you want to make sure we're having the best chance at winning, and if we got to play Spell Cycle to do that, we got to play Spell Cycle, man. It is what it is. All right, let's go archers down here. I'd like to log, and then I'd like to get an Evo Tesla up here, because that's going to stun everything, and although we do take in a couple hits there, that's unfortunate, but... So that's what happens when you eat popcorn, and then you start recording the video without washing your hands. But I would say that I'm going to try and take Fireball value where I can. I just don't think Fireballing a Boss Bandit is exactly what I want to be doing. I'll take a Fireball here, because I honestly, I do need to get good damage. Like, I need to get damage. I need to get damage. That's the name of the game here. Trying to get Fireball damage on the tower. But to be honest, I'm just going to take this Expo here. I'm going to be a little bit careful since he is back to that Boss Bandit. A little tricky here. I think we just go with, yeah, I wanted to be a little bit careful in case he decided to go with something like a lightning, which he did. I just don't want to give him too much lightning value. That's kind of the issue here, is I'm giving him really good lightning value. I'm back to my Evo Tesla as well, so that's kind of good. Let's cycle archers the back here, try and get an opening to go in with the Expo. I'd like to take that. Now, that's a Fireball I will take. That is definitely a Fireball I will take. I want to get that Xe off the board as quick as we can. He could take a lightning here for sure, but I would still like this Evo Tesla, because he did try and get the tower damage with it, which is going to allow us to make up all of our damage from the lightning with that. Now, if he's trying to get damage like off of that, that's kind of okay with me, because he's not going to be able to lightning instantly the tower, the Tesla, and I'm pretty sure maybe you can reach that, but I think the Tesla is too high to do that. So we're gonna get a stun going and get some archers here. I'd like to get an E-Spirit to protect. A little sloppy, and my micro skills are a little sloppy, but thankfully we do take out the Ram Rider, and I mean the Xe was gonna block for that anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. I will think about just starting to chuck fireballs on the tower. when I can get any value at all, because I do want to win this spell cycle war that we are inevitably going to go into. Let's go knight here. Just protect the archers, DPS this down. That's okay. As soon as he goes with his lightning, I'll just log here and then go in with this. He could definitely go in with the executioner as well, though, so we got to be a little bit careful. Yeah, executioner comes in. I don't think that's on. Is that on the X-bow? I don't think so. Yeah, it's not on the X-bow. So we're gonna take a fireball here. Try and, like I said, keep up with the spell cycle. I do have a faster cycle than him, and we're going to get a big lock on the tower. So as long as I can play a little tiny bit of defense here, we should be able to win because of the constant pressure I'm applying without putting myself in a situation where it's like, oh my god, I'm going to lose the game because I'm being too aggressive, if that makes any sense here. Now, he probably goes in with one last lightning, in which case I don't really need to worry about it. Don't need to even fireball the tower here. Just can save all my spells for resetting the Ram Rider, but yeah, I'm just going to go with it anyways, and that's a pretty solid win against the deck with a lot of girth and tonnage. So Expo, one of the best decks to play for the 20-win challenge as well. I am going to also put E-Giant on the list. With that being said, like I forget what other deck it was, there are different variations. Maybe it was Minor Poison that you can play. With this being, you could play Evo Knight instead of Valk. You can play a Skellies for a more cycle version of the deck. But overall, the deck that's been having the most success right now is a very heavy, like 4.3, 4.4 E-Giant deck with so much girth. Talk about girth, bro. Talk about hit points on these motherfuckers. Bro, there is so much health to go around in this deck. It is insane. I imagine he plays something there, yeah, to unfortunately not let us splash immediately, but I do like being really aggressive with those lightnings because it's oftentimes not a bad trade. It's a -1 trade, and we're going to be able to get good tower damage. We got an extra hit off the baby dragon, and sometimes when you're playing decks like this, which are very kind of, I guess, slow and heavily focused on defense, which is kind of the name of the game right now, unless you're playing Minor Poison, you just completely spam a bunch of shit. You're gonna be playing defense, and you're gonna be playing a lot of games where it's gonna come down to the wire. And if you can get that extra 800 damage at the start of the game for basically no penalty, why not take it? Now, given it is Hog XC, not the most fun thing in the world, but if we're just timing our E-Giant right, the right E-Giant is just going to absolutely decimate this fool. Like, absolutely. He's not going to have anything for it. Now, I want to see what he plays for this. I think I do take this again, because this should stun it and allow me to get... okay, that's fine, to be honest. I'm just going to pull this to the King Tower and then get a Barb Barrel down. I was going to say we could definitely kill that there, but I feel like the lightning came in at an awkward time because I wasn't able to get the second baby drag hit. Or I didn't get the first baby drag hit off before we hit him with the lightning, so he got knocked back anyways. Now, I mean, with E-Giant, you're practically going to take 0 damage the entire game against good defense, or good... It is very late at night. It is very late at night. You are going to be able to defend pretty much anything with this deck. That's the moral of the story. Valkyrie, thank you, is giving me a little bit of a pain there, but if we just go Baby Dragon to get the speed going, and then we just maybe turn into this X the opposite lane so he has something else to deal with. Now we have a speedy E-Giant, and yeah, have fun with that. Have fun with that. And yeah, I know there's decks out there that counter E-Giant because they have a building, we lightning them, or we bowler NATO, or any deck that doesn't have a building is an instant win. It is literally an instant win, and this deck is very, very strong, especially on the defensive end. Like, you play such good defense against almost every deck in the game, and then the offense just comes naturally off counter pushes, off lightnings, off bowler NATOs, off baby drag speeding, pushing the E-Giant. One of the best decks in all of Clash Royale, especially for the 20-win challenge.